based on that highlight tape.
Cool.
I apologize. I'm slightly distracted. I think we got copyright hit again. So I'm
Oh no!
I'm lost in the weeds over here. But you keep going. I'm trying to recover it. Hopefully something will go back. I don't know what it'll end up looking like, but the podcast is fine. The podcast survives. Well, the podcast is like us coming in like Charlie FM coming in your ears again. Us coming in people's ears is like like when the world ends and everything's we'll still be doing that, right? Like we'll be in our underground bunkers and that'll still be arriving to people via podcast platforms somehow. We'll be delivering it through pigeons overhead, like but
UKSP live from the Winchester.
Yes,
in the back corner.
But everything else open to being destroyed at any moment.
The cockroaches will love our evaluation.
What will we talk about? There'll presumably be no NFL. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. The cockroaches will be the players.
The cockroach Olympics.
Big Daddy Cockroach in the 99th vert and height.
Welcome to the UK Steelers podcast, the third best Cockroach Olympics podcast in the wasteland.
Let's move on.
Did any of this make the YouTube? Who knows? Mark, please continue.
Yeah, I will. Let's move on to Clemson. Let's talk about TJ Parker, junior, 21 years of age, 6'4", 263 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Tampa Beige captain for this year. That is TJ Parker. And again, that's not a negative thing. Because with TJ Parker, I think everything is good. There are a couple of things that are great, but nothing feels particularly exceptional or elite. I think he's a solid, dependable rusher with not that much of a wow factor. I like him. That's about as far as I can go. Minimal penalties, great. Good patience and vision. Shifty footwork. Decent amount of power. There was some really nice stuff early on against LSU with a really, really good ball rush early on in that. Has a very nice long arm move as well. That was on full display at the Senior Bowl, where I think he definitely prospered as well. He's not particularly explosive. I think he looks a bit too calm and collected at times. You would like to see his hair on fire a little bit more than you sometimes got. Felt like he was kind of oversetting and over pursuing a little bit in the run game and getting washed out in that respect. Not much of a counter in his pass rush arsenal. As I say, the vision's good, but I do think there are some inconsistencies as well. I do think he can get lost at times with what's going on, particularly in the run game. Yeah, everything is just really solid with TJ Parker, but I kind of watched the tape and I was like, I've watched the tape of a pretty good pass rusher. Good on him. Well done. And that just made me think, oh, this is the captain of Tampa Beige right here. Fully solid and dependable, but nothing that's going to wow you somewhat. So very much out of value for me. And it's still high value, and I still think he's a good player enough to warrant that. And he's young, which is great. I think you can develop him to really push on and have some of those stuff go from good to great. I think that's certainly possible for him. But as it is right now, cool, a cool player. It's got one thumbs up from me. That sort of level of. People say mediocrity. I always think mediocre sounds worse than it actually is.
Well, it's weird because we're talking about mediocre within the realm of the elite, right? These are the 1%, the 1%
exactly.
of athletes, so it's weird, but yeah.
I think the word mediocre in itself is weird because it doesn't mean like terrible. It just means
it sounds really bad.
Okay, it does sound awful.
In a way,
you'd
rather like someone call you awful and terrible than mediocre. Like, mediocre's worse in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. Even though it's technically better, it's mad. I don't know. Did you watch Parker Kids?
I did. Firstly, though, if anyone has the time and the inclination, please can someone cut up all of Mark's Tampa Beige clips from over the years? I think that would just be a fascinating listen of Mark just going, these players are good, frustrating, not quite what I wanted to see, but they're not bad. They're at value. They're quite good. I think that would be a fascinating listen for a long car journey. Mark's
The,
Tampa
the
Bay
most
roster in
boring
full.
of them all. Come on now.
It'd be more
Guarantee that would be
fascinating
one
to
of our
me.
most listened episodes.
It'd be more fascinating to me to know who that individual is who has that inclination to go and make that cut up.
Yes, I agree. Someone might do it. You never know. We've got a wonderful audience. Yeah. So TJ Parker from Clemson. It almost makes me wonder if he'd have come out last year, would he have done better? Because 2024 was really productive for him. He had 11 sacks in 24 versus 5 in 25. Now he's had some good statistics across college. He's had 9.5 tackles for loss, 39 total tackles, 3 fumble recoveries, 21.5 sacks in total, and 41.5 tackles for loss over his college career. He's good at speed to power, using the kind of long arm technique to bull rush. He's quite versatile. He operates from different stances, so there's potentially some flexibility there. I put down he perhaps plays the most Steeler-like football in this edge class because he is a takeaway merchant. He seems to always be trying to take the ball away from opposition. I think he needs a better overall, more advanced and diverse pass rush move set. He's over reliant on his power, and that will be negated at the next level. I think he can improve his consistency in his pad level in particular. He's always kind of playing very, very, very vertically to the extent where, and I say this often, if someone plays really vertically, I'm kind of worried about future injuries if that's the case. I think if he gets his pad level down, his leverage will automatically be better, and that will help him maintain better production levels throughout a full season. Big concerns. 10 weeks straight in 2025 without a sack. I'll say that again because I think that's quite important. 10 weeks without a sack. That will not cut it at the next level. I think he's got a good overall skill set. He does sometimes miss tackles. He's over reliant on his power. His run defense is actually not too bad some of the time. I think he can stack and shed. I think he can be effective against the run, but there's also times when he's not as effective against the run as well. But he did have a good Senior Bowl, had a bad 2025, better 2024. I can see why you went with Tampa Bay on this guy, Mark, but I think it's just a bit. I don't know what to do with him. I really don't know what to do because I like some of the stuff. He's very like Steelery in the way he plays football, but yeah, 10 weeks without a sack and the vertical thing worries me. Yeah, I don't know. End of the first round again is high. Like, I don't know why a couple of these players are that high up in the first round.
I'll say this much for TJ Parker. You talk about 10 sacks, 10 weeks without a sack. This is part of Clemson were not good this year. Clemson were overall just pretty shocking considering where they should have been. And I think it affected a lot of people. It affected Peter Woods. It affected, obviously, Kay Klubnik, who we talked about. And, yeah, I think it kind of did affect TJ Parker to an extent. I still think there's a very good player there. Very good, maybe a stretch, but still, I think there's a moldable prospect here. Certainly, as I say, only 21 years of age. It's just, Clemson was a bit of a shit show in all honesty. So, yeah, it's that just leads to the difficulty of looking at some of these Clemson guys. And I mean, it didn't stop me and Mike from going for loving Blake Miller. It hasn't stopped Gav for loving DeMonte Capehart. There's still some talent there that you just kind of have to look past how bad the season was. But again, you also have to consider why was it a bad season? Might not all be on coaching. May well the players didn't live up to their expectations either.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right.
Yeah,
I can already sense that.
In terms of the next guy, who will be from Mizzou, presumably, I haven't watched him. So, did you want to lead him off, and then I'll take the guy after?
I will. I will lead Zion Young off. Yeah, absolutely, and I'll lead Zion Young off if Mr. Simon Winstanley is ready with his trigger finger there to say that he's not mine, but he is Tom's Red Star. And he's not there, is he? I knew it. I knew it. I knew Simon wasn't there. So I'm
I
just
am
going
here.
to.
So, don't claim I'm not here. I'm just.
Well, let's say you were on mute, and you. Where was my red star drop?
I may have accidentally deleted the red star drop in a sea of.
Oh my lord! Oh,
I'll try and get it
no.
back. I'll try and get it back. Continue.
Please
dear.
insert the sad end of episode music here.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Zion Young, who is Tom's Red Star, out of Missouri.
Red Star!
Exactly. Formerly of Michigan State. 21 years of age. 22 very soon.
Oh, wait, I've got this.
Red Star.
Yeah, the perfect one. There you go. 6'6", 262 pounds. Weirdly enough, like I had a lot of pros on this guy compared to my cons, and yet I'm still kind of at value with him, which is like a second round pick, I believe. And I think that's probably about right. So, 6'6", you love to see that. 8 sacks in 2025. Felt like he was getting better in pretty much every metric year on year. Particularly if you look at the kind of PFF metrics in that respect. He's a big bad runner that will hunt you down. There's a forced fumble. Don't know what I'm talking about. There. Forced fumble.
Isn't that a film?
Forced fumble.
Brendan Fraser?
Oh, not what I know. Terrific forced fumble, I should say, against Kansas. That actually ended up resulting in a safety as well, even though I think they were at like the 30-yard line or something ridiculous. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like Jalen Daniels looked terrified, and Zion Young was just in front of him, just like, "Come on, then, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? You're not going to go anywhere." Oh, got ya! Forced fumble. Somehow got kicked into the end zone and ended up being a safety. It's the most ridiculous play you'll ever see. Some terrific Senior Bowl reps from him as well. He really did well there. Had some exceptional work in the combine drills as well. Why I didn't like it? So there's a couple of things to note here. I didn't think he was majorly explosive, personally. Like, I don't know. It just didn't really pop off for me there. Tom's kind of nailed it in his evaluation, saying that he doesn't have like a whole lot of tools in his pass rush game. But yeah, I mean the ball rush that he does have is absolutely fantastic. He really uses a lot of strength, and that's great to see. Speed's okay, but not like totally great. As I say, when he's pursuing people like that, it's really fun. He's a big menacing runner, but he's like not totally speedy. 6 penalties in 2025. You want to clean those up, and then there are off the field issues. He had a misdemeanor assault charge at a Michigan State tunnel fight as when he was a freshman, as well as having a DWI arrest just this past December that's still pending a court hearing. So that's definitely some red flags to kind of be to show there with Zion Young. That kind of concerns me a little bit. He is a bit of a predator kind of feel. When he comes at you, he's terrifying. But yeah, just the lack of explosiveness for me, some concern in terms of those off the field antics and his speed and inconsistent countering as well. I kind of felt with him. I think there's a lot to like. I think there's also a decent amount to be wary of. So that's why ultimately I have gone out of value with him. First team All SEC, which is great, obviously, with how difficult that conference is. But yeah, ultimately not one that I majorly fell in love with. I can see why Tom really likes him, but yeah, for me, not as much.
And that value's like second round.
Exactly, yeah, and I think that's absolutely fine for the kind of just what's the kind of menacing player that he is. Certainly menacing disruptor that
menacing
he can
to the roads, apparently.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's the
court hearing pending? Court hearing pending.
He's worse than Myles Garrett out here.
Oh, well. So
Have
I
you
mean,
been have you been minus on any of these guys yet? I'm wondering.
I have.
Okay.
Akeem Messidor was a -1
All
for
right,
me.
all right. Of course,
Yeah.
25. Can't have anyone old.
Can't have anyone old, can't have anyone thin. That's my kind of thing.
It's like I've seen Island in here. Okay, Kez, you've not watched it?
I've not. Mark likes them young and thick.
Whoa, hang on a minute.
I
Hang on
love
a minute.
corn-fed boys. Thank you very much.
That was purely just to become a future soundbite. I'm not going to lie.
Jeez, we're soundbite farming out here now. My goodness.
Oh, it's tough out of these streets, out of these content streets, Mark.
Exactly. Well, yeah, very tough apparently. So yeah, obviously you hadn't watched Zion Young. Did you watch the next guy on the consensus?
I did. I will take you to the great state of Oklahoma and R. Mason Thomas. Question for you.
Mason.
Can we get the whole thing in
Ah,
accent,
Mason.
please, Kets?
R. Mason
Oklahoma.
Thomas from Oklahoma. Do we
I
know
did.
what? I don't know which accent you wanted.
The Oklahoma one. Oklahoma!
R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. All right.
Yeah, that's great. That's good, yeah.
I just thought we were going for the northern twang of R. Mason. R. Mason.
Do we know what the R stands for?
R, I think. I don't.
R. Mason Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're going to get a lot of mileage from this
in
class.
this
with that
class, we've
soundtrack.
got Valeries and we've got Mason Thomas.
And we've got play one Maj. Oh, what was his name? Reed Adams from last week as well. Yeah.
What was his name? Reese Adams.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Maj Reed. Yeah. The R does not stand for anything. It does stand for R.
Do you know what, Kets? This is why we don't. This is why we don't invite Mark to our content farming bits. He's killed this one already.
It was, it was perfect. So,
My tongue hurts. Leave me alone.
So she said. All right, Kets.
I could say he's right back at the content farm with that line. That was very good. So R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. He had some injuries in 2025. Really hit and miss in terms of PFF grades. Now, I've looked at PFF grades perhaps more this week than I have previously. His PFF grades are a really interesting study. So he had some of the lower grades against the better teams. His worst games were against Texas, Bama, and Michigan, probably because he was too busy. And it wasn't him trying to fight with them, was it? It was the guy before. I'm getting confused. I think his better games, is it a case that he eats against a poor O-line? I think that could be the case with this guy. 6 sacks in 2025, despite the injuries, and a 20% pass rush win rate. He's a bit of a kind of pass rusher only. And this is the guy that I said, who was the other guy that I said this guy was better than?
Oh, Cassius Howe.
Yeah, so Cassius Howe is a better version of this guy, but with a lot more of a well-rounded skill set, I think. R. Mason Thomas lacks arm length. I think he's a twitchy speed guy, athletic, good change of direction and bend, but lacks run defense upside. Lacks kind of the arm length, as I say. He's one of these kind of pass rush only kind of guys. I think in this, he's going to be a situational third down blitz specialist. I've seen Mike Green comparisons with this guy, but I think Mike Green was better. So I've gone -1 with R. Mason Thomas.
So have I very quickly kind of moved on from this guy because I just thought, oh, okay, not anything particularly spectacular. Fairly decent burst of movement. I thought his inside move against tackles was quite nice. Fairly nimble footwork, but man, it is just pass rushing upside and very, very little else to offer. As I say, concerning arm length, as we said, but not a guy that fills me with any hope like the other undersized arm guys in this class. Late to react, particularly in the run game. Quite a high missed tackle percentage over the last couple of years. Several penalties. Feels like he can get washed out a lot of the times. As you say, both ankles have been sprained, and he's had soft tissue issues in 2025. I don't see it myself. I think situational guy, but with very little else to offer. And with the medical concerns, yeah, not for me at all. Our Mason Thomas, yeah, he was a -1 for me. First team All SEC in 2025. Like, really? Okay. Like, I don't understand that one myself, but yeah, not not anybody I was particularly interested in.
Just a question then at this point. If there are, how many did I say? 15 or so,
15, yeah.
15 top 100 guys, and we've got to about number 8 or so of the guys we've looked at, and we go in, I'm not sure if this guy's a top 100 guy. Why are they so high?
Because
And-
it's premium, isn't it? This is the thing. It's the edge premium. It really is. Like, that's why these guys are getting pushed up this high, because that's what the league needs. Like, that's what the league wants right now, is just more of these pass rushers. You've got to get to these quarterbacks. That's exactly why these guys are getting pushed up so high, I feel.
Okay, that's interesting.
Not a position you feel like, with running backs, you often feel like, oh, I can get a guy in the 3rd round, I can get a guy in the 4th round, right? You never really feel that way about an edge rusher. Unless Nick
exactly.
Herbig's out
that's
there,
true.
Unless Nick
Yeah,
Herbig's
it's
out
treated very similarly to all the other premium positions. I bet there's probably about 15 guys in the top 100 in the wide receiver class.
Right.
It's the same as that. So
Yeah,
I'll
all
tell you
left
one
tackles.
thing. I'll tell you one thing that our Mason Thomas does offer, an intriguing mystery. Because the more I'm looking at his name, the more I'm thinking, what is his first name? Is his first name the letter R?
it is.
That's his first name.
Yeah.
So Mason is a middle name, or his last name is Mason Thomas?
I don't know any further than the fact that his name is just that.
Just the
R.
letter
Mason
R.
Thomas.
All right. We're getting real loose with it here in 2026, but you know what? There's crazy things going on, so go for it.
The internet suggests it was a creative way to honour the family tradition of having a name starting with the letter R.
Right, well, I would argue it's actually the least creative way to honour the family tradition. Of
Yeah,
having a
I
name
would
starting with
also
letter.
argue that. Yes. What the hell?
Like, definitionally, the least creative.
Good lord.
All right,
It doesn't
massive
stand
red.
for
I'll tell you
anything.
what R stands for. Red flag. To not
Red
draft.
flag, starting red flag.
The R stands for right. Next.
I like the fact one of the top results is Patriots host undersized OLB on draft first 30 visit.
Jeez.
So even on the news, he's getting shade.
Dear Lord. Yeah, so, I mean, the next guy, I've not watched the next guy, but I know you have, Ket, so I'll skip over the guy from Illinois. But let's go to a guy that I have watched, which is the guy from the University of Central Florida, UCF's Malachi Lawrence. Just tap dancing while I get my notes up for Mr. Lawrence here.
He's number 63 on the consensus board.
63 on the consensus board, 6'4", 253 pounds. Didn't have an age for him. I couldn't find one there. Hell yeah on this guy. I love this guy. He was absolutely awesome at the combine, which is kind of where I first sort of really picked up that he was a like big kind of riser in this draft class. And yes, you stick the tape on and oh man, you love it. Consistent sack production over the last 3 years, good length and frame. His speed definitely shows up on tape. Like, excellent speed to power himself. Really nice ball rush that he's got in there. Some excellent bend on tape. There is a sack early on against Houston. I can't remember if it's early on actually, but there's his sack against Houston. His bend on that is exceptional. He turns the corner on that beautifully. Has the tackle, all sorts of beat. Against Kansas State, he showed off his motor, which was brilliant. He was like a lion toying with his prey at one point. Like, Avery Johnson just had no chance with him. Yeah, really, really love that. What's the downside of a guy who has such a relentless motor and excellent speed and everything like that? 23% missed tackle rate, which is definitely on the higher end of things with this class. Kind of has a raw pass rush arsenal to him, very minimal in terms of his counter moves. can be a little bit slow to adjust in the run game as well, especially when he's faced with a tackle head on. Like he's, to determine the situation around him, he's a little slow to do that. His level of competition wasn't terrible, but it's not like elite either. So you kind of have to have that in the back of your head a little bit. Yeah, he's raw, but you develop this guy the right way. You've got a freak of nature coming off the edge. I absolutely loved him. He was a Red Star candidate, but not quite my Red Star. But yeah, his vision to pursue targets in the passing game was absolutely absurd. I loved him. Absolute baller. He's a +1 for me. Iron out some of the issues that you've got for him, and I think you've got one hell of a player on your hands.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I will take us back to Illinois, which Mark just mentioned. Gabe, and how are we pronouncing his name? We think it's Akas?
Yes, so apparently the J is silent. I thought it was Yakas. It's certainly not Jackass.
I hadn't seen it written down yet, and you said his name, Kets, and then you started to be like a bit like, oh, I'm not quite sure. And Mark was like, yes, the J is silent, and my eyes couldn't have rolled harder.
Yeah, we were discussing this in the week. I'm going, it's Jackass, isn't it? And we're like, no, it's not Jackass.
I thought it was Jackass, but apparently it's Akas. Yes.
So he is Gabe
Anyway.
Yakas, the Fighting Illini. Wow.
Okay, so he is 6'4", 260. Team captain at Illinois. Loves his physicality. He's definitely a run game upside player in this draft class. Bend and rip moves used effectively. Good power and leverage. Has a wrestling background. His hand punch is aggressive and causes opponents problems. What's the problem with him? He is very predictable in terms of how he rushes the passer. He is the definition of a one-trick pony. He has one path to the quarterback, and he will attempt that on every snap most of the time. He's very predictable for offensive tackles. He was productive in college, 27 career sacks with 8 in 24 and 12 in 25. So he's improved as he's gone on. Quite versatile in terms of technique. He does a combination of 5-tech, which is kind of hand in the dirt pass rushing, as well as the more sort of stand-up technique. He's got a high motor, good work rate, good pass rush win rate at 15%. I've kind of got him as he's an okay floor guy, but limited ceiling. I think sometimes in the run game, he can sometimes lack a little bit of discipline. So he's strong and physical in the run game, but I did see a couple of football IQ things where he's kind of fooled by misdirection or sort of RPO type football. I think he's a reliable, physical, productive player. He's not the fastest off the edge. I've seen comments that his bend wasn't that good, but I thought his bend was okay. I just think it's predictable. So I think he could be a good rotational piece. I would worry if he was a week-to-week starter in the NFL, but I think he's okay. Worthy of a late second-round pick. I'd feel more comfortable if it was a third-round pick, to be honest with you. But I went with that value because I think the skill set is reasonable enough.
Cool. Yeah, as I say, didn't get the opportunity to watch him, but yeah, I'll definitely catch up.
I will say, I hope it's a little bit concerning the nature at which you're speaking about some of these edge guys that are predicted to go in the mid to late second round. I hope it is just the edge class, but I more mean that from the perspective of a team that's got 12 picks right in this draft.
Yeah. You really want there to be a run of these edge rushers from our perspective, like midway through the first round, and that's the way that we're going to get a better receiver, corner. I don't think a quarterback would fall that far, but you really need like a good run of these edge rushers and maybe tackles as well. Although maybe we need a tackle, I don't know.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, I think we might do.
It's probably worth pointing out now. So I think I'll probably mention some people that we haven't watched, because there are a couple of top 100 guys we haven't watched, and I think there's a couple of other quite interesting prospects outside of the top 100 consensus that kind of just need mentioning. So we haven't watched Derek Moore out of Michigan. He's kind of the highest guy that we haven't watched, who's 65 on the consensus board. We haven't watched LT Overton, who's 67 out of Alabama. And then, just a couple of other guys. I don't believe either of us have watched. Anthony Lucas out of USC is quite a big one. Nadane Tucker out of Western Michigan. I haven't watched Nadane Tucker. So he is the guy who is going to be 26 years old when the draft comes around. I wanted to watch him, and I was like, this guy's going to be 26. You're all right.
Listen, when you've got the chance to draft a 26-year-old Western Michigan Bronco, you got to do it.
Somebody's gonna.
I mean, there'll be enough tape out there.
Yeah. Jeez, yeah, we're talking about Messidor playing with Moses. I mean, this guy was playing with God at the Big Bang.
Just like one additional year in college is like exponential as it goes backwards. It's like...
There's a couple of other guys like later on down here, like Kieran Crawford out of Auburn's name I've seen a lot of. Vincent Anthony Jr. out of Duke. Max Llewellyn out of Iowa, didn't get to watch him. And then probably one of my favourite names in this whole thing, a guy who had a very good combine and is kind of lower down, 7th round on the list, George Gums Jr.
Stop it.
Out of Florida as well. So it's just like, George Gums Jr. What a name. But yeah, so they're some of the guys that we didn't get to.
I was going to say Max Llewellyn will surely be a famous or much appreciated amongst any Welsh listeners that we have. The most Welsh-sounding edge rusher that you could possibly come across.
Absolutely. Welsh fans, get in touch.
Not Quintavious Hutchins? Could be Welsh?
Yeah, very good name there as well. Quintavious, very Welsh name. Yeah, Quintavious.
Sounds like a Welsh place name, in fairness.
I also believe there's Logan Farno low down here. I believe, please, anybody correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's Spencer Farno's brother, the edge rusher out of Utah. Spencer Farno, obviously one of the top tackles in this in consensus in this class. So, I'm going to take us.
I'm so sorry, Matt. There's an edge in this class, 357 on the PFF board. Mo Westmoreland.
Mo Westmoreland.
Westmoreland. M.O.
Good name for a landscaping business in West Yorkshire.
Do you need Mo Westmoreland? All right, sorry.
Funnily enough, he is on the mock draft database one down as Maurice. So there you go.
Oh gosh, the names every year.
Reggie Grimes, edge from Memphis.
There you go. The all name team definitely coming out there. But I'm going to take us back now a little bit down towards the top of the consensus board, and I'm going to take us to Penn State, and I'm going to talk about Denai Dennis Sutton. It looks like Danny. It's apparently Denai. So yeah, another name to kind of wrap your head around. Say again, sorry?
Of course it is. Of course it's not Danny.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, it is Dani. It's not D. I thought you were saying it was like Danny, and he was just saying.
No, that would just be ridiculous. No. This has plausibility to be Denai. Denai Dennis Sutton, 6'6", 256 pounds out of Penn State. He had a high missed tackle rate. He was up there, 22%. Certainly needs more effective counter moves. His bend can be a little bit, lacking at times. Can get too upright against some of the tackles in this. They were really the only cons that I had of this absolutely tremendous athlete who showed out at the combine. Great length, great closing speed, really nice burst. Can kick into another gear mid-rep. You saw that a lot on tape. Pop into an unsuspecting tackle. Hunts like a lion in the backfield. Really comes up strong in clutch situations. Yes, it was ultimately a losing game, but he had a huge interception in overtime against Oregon where he dropped back into coverage. Absolutely awesome vision for the ball there. Stays patient, covers really well. Really great eye for running backs running through the middle of the pack. in a class that hasn't done a tremendous amount for me, Dennis Sutton massively intrigued me. Stellar athlete, great motor, coachable cons for me. I think the floor is high, and I don't think the ceiling is particularly low either. I think he's got the potential to be awesome at the NFL level. I was thinking about sleepering him, but then ultimately I was like, I love this guy so much. He's going to be my red star.
Oh, red star!
And of course, we deleted the red star sound drop, so I was just waiting for the.
I thought you. Do you know? Honestly, I forgot you hadn't done your red star. I was waiting for a sleeper.
Nope. Red star. Red star, son. I love this guy so much in terms of the potential that he could be. He's got some stuff to work out, but every issue that I see with him is coachable. I really, really do see that. So, yeah, combine the athlete with what the player could be, and I'm all in on this dude. I really, really am. I'm a +1, but I'm still all in on the prospect of this guy rocking it at the next level.
Sweet.
Very good.
Just waited till late in the day for the red star. Love that.
Didn't think I'd ever have Penn State red star, but yeah, Dennis Sutton certainly for me came up strong in that situation.
Awesome. One to keep an eye on. Danny.
Okay.
Denny.
Deny.
His red star could not be denied.
Great stuff.
We're definitely getting to that point.
Never mind, we're going to reach new heights with Romello Height from Texas Tech. 74 on the consensus board, and he reaches the height of 6'3" and the weight of 239 pounds, which will tell you the problem before we even start. So he has had a varied college career of 6 years, 2 years at Auburn, 2 years at USC, 1 year at Georgia Tech, and 1 year at Texas Tech. Again, he's one of these players that's a little bit of a one-year wonder. He doesn't have kind of consistent, proven productivity. Now, he made a good start to the season. 4 of his first 6 games were 90+ PFF grades. Then he had a bit of a meh middle of the season, but then finished with a solid kind of 70 to 80 grades. It was a bit of a kind of a mixed bag. 9 sacks, 21.8% pass rush win rate. Positives, he has long arms, is really explosive off the line of scrimmage. I really like his first step. Good bend, athleticism, spin moves, physicality. Love his energy, love his urgency. Downsides, however, his size, 239. He's not great against the run, has limited anchor, limited ability to stay out there on first and second downs, particularly in the NFL, I suspect. Play strength is lacking, and I've got question marks about football IQ. Ultimately, yes, he was ranked 11th in athleticism score for edges in the combine. I've gone with -1 because I think he's another kind of backup situational edge rusher, pass rushing third down specialist. I don't think you can keep him out there consistently first and second downs without paying somewhat of a price, especially at that weight. Yeah, I went -1 in the end on Romello Height. So the height was quickly rescinded backwards.
You were nearly there. You nearly stuck the landing on that one.
I nearly did. I tried. Too late at night to think of clever things to say.
Also forgot the fact that Akeem Mesidor was playing with Moses and was probably playing with Romello Height as well, because he will be 25 on draft night.
Where are these guys been?
I know. Well, this
College for 6 years.
This guy's been at Auburn, USC, and Georgia Tech, all before Texas Tech, so he's travelled around as well. I'm actually at value with Romello Height, but I do agree with a lot of the points that you've made there. I do think he may well be situational, but that situation is great. That explosive get off is exceptional. Like one of the best I saw in the whole class. Heck of a motor. Did really well at the Senior Bowl as well. Generated a whole ton of pressures this past year. Could again be man against boys. I was very surprised to see that age. I certainly was, but yeah, as you say, run game is not really there. Felt like a one-hit wonder, as you said, and does need to improve more of the pass rush arsenal that he does have, despite some of the great upside that he does have for it. I'm a little bit higher on him. I just think he's a bit more of a tougher eval. Showed a heck of a lot in 2025, but is 25, and you wonder if he may be tapped out in that sense. But I don't hate taking it where he's sort of consensus wise. I don't think that's too out of the realms of possibility for him, just because I think there's a lot of upside with his explosiveness and his athleticism.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm conscious that we've gone a fair while, as we tend to on this on these shows. So Kets, how many guys do you have left? Do you have one or two?
One left.
One left. So we'll come to him shortly, because I think he's the next guy on the consensus as well, if it's the guy I think you're talking about. But I want to go down the board a little bit at a guy that caught my eye and I thought was quite an intriguing prospect. And I want to take us back to Ohio State. And I want to talk about Caden Curry, senior of Ohio State, 22 years of age, 6'3", 260 pounds. Very interesting study of a player. Feel like he's sort of tweener-ish. This is weird. He was kind of so on the fence with a lot of this, like sort of between outside linebacker and defensive end. Like he was playing across that line. Like I'm sure he was a nose at one point. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like just the Ohio State way of doing things, I guess. Sometimes he was on fire. Sometimes he wasn't. Sometimes showed off athleticism. Sometimes played a bit stiff. Like really, really in between a lot of things. Like 12 sacks in 2025, really great. Only an 11.5 missed tackle rate, which is great. Really nice long reach that he's got. 6'3", but plays a bit bigger than 6'3", I think. Powerful tackler, good ball vision. Can be an absolute predator towards the ball as well. Really love that. Only had really 1 year of true productivity. Didn't feel like he was, as I say, the athleticism was sometimes there, but very inconsistent. I think inconsistent is definitely the word with Caden Curry in a lot of aspects. There's the Washington tape is awesome and makes him look like a superstar. And that was the first tape I watched. I was like, oh, okay, this guy, this could be something. And then I didn't really get the same when I watched the Michigan and Texas games. I was like, especially the Michigan one, I felt like a little cold with him. If he can keep up the level of what he was doing against Washington, I like his chances. But I think, he worked well in a creative defense like he did in Ohio State. He's obviously overshadowed by a lot of pieces on that defense. I was at value with him. It's a low value, but I'm very interested to see where he projects and whether he puts on more and maybe does cut in as more of a defensive end. Just a very interesting case study of an outside linebacker for this class on day 3.
Yeah, interesting eval.
Yeah, if you like Curry, this one's
Caden Curry, why not?
Yeah.
Madras level?
How hot would a Caden Curry be?
What's like the middle of the road heat? He's definitely hotter than a Korma, but he's not quite a Vindaloo. Yeah, maybe like a
to be honest, that was just the third Curry that I knew. After
particularly
Vindaloo.
strong Tikka Masala, maybe, or
Yeah, anything like Masala or Korma or Rogan Josh is probably down the lower end, I would say.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be at least a Madras. He's not a Fal or something that's going to kill
no,
you.
yeah, exactly.
A
Yeah,
what?
Madras is a good one.
I famously only ever eaten one curry, so
This is the man that has a bland doner kebab.
Even I've had more than that, but I am a Korma man, so let's swiftly move on from that.
That's why this podcast that you can listen to.
Exactly. Kets, why don't you take us to the last guy on your list?
I shall. And that is where the laughter will stop, gentlemen, because I'm taking you to Tennessee and Joshua Josephs, 6'3", 245. Now, this guy, I'll just say it right off the top. He's going to be my sleeper.
Dive.
Thank you, Simon. Appreciate the effort that went into that. I think he is an upside pick, Joshua Josephs. He's got good length and frame. A better size than some of these smaller guys, but I think his frame, he's got ability to put more weight on and fill that frame out a little bit. He's got good kind of longer arms and good bend. He, for me, has pass rush move versatility. He's got speed moves, inside moves. He's got power moves, cross chops, balls, rips. Really creative kind of hand fighting. Unlike some of the other guys in this class, he combines that with run game upside, especially if he can put on some weight. Has really good gap discipline in the run game. He can create forced fumbles when he's pass rushing. Had 5 sacks, 4 hits, 23 hurries. But Tennessee don't play their players very often. They rotate a hell of a lot. So I think if this guy is given more time, he has the good pass rushing skill set. He has the run game positivity that you can keep him out there. Creates forced fumbles as well. I'm really intrigued to see what this guy can do. Now, he is 87 on the consensus board, so we're talking kind of third round. For me, that's the perfect interception of value, run game positivity, pass game positivity. That's why he's my sleeper.
Nice. Yeah. As I say, I didn't get to watch him myself, but I think I will do now. Knowing that he's your sleeper, I really need to get diving on him. Certainly.
Dive.
Exactly. Yeah. Literally. Cool.
I noticed as I was looking for Joshua Josephs there for the live stream, I found another name in this. I can't believe maybe when you did mention it and I blanked out. Did anyone mention TJ Guy?
No. Yeah.
He's not a real person. That's not a real guy. Someone show me a picture of TJ Guy.
Probably a police artist sketch or something. Yeah. I mean,
sixth round, the Arizona Cardinals have drafted TJ Guy. He hasn't shown up for training camp.
Just ignore the fact that there's a guy also in this draft called Popeye Williams. But yeah, there are some excellent names in this age group. So I've only got 2 guys left. I've actually got 2 sleepers left.
You only allowed one?
No, one for me.
Okay,
and one,
I'll allow it.
And the next man who is going to be Tom's sleeper, and that is Mason Reiger out of Wisconsin. Thank you very much. That's what I was looking for. Mason Reiger. I'm just double checking. He definitely was, Tom's sleeper. What more needs to be said than white pass rusher out of Wisconsin? There you go. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler right there.
I'm dripping.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Reiger, right? He plays with his hair on fire constantly. You can tell that he has come from the same program as TJ Watt and Nick Herbig. He is relentless, an absolutely relentless human being. Had an excellent Shrine Bowl, good combine for the most part. Some of the testing was a bit iffy, but otherwise, especially like the 40 wasn't great. His pressure rate was through the roof in 2025. This guy's a disruptor of the highest order. Now, that does obviously come with a massive 24.5% missed tackle rate. He needs to calm down a little bit because some of it he's just an absolute wild man that's getting shoved here, there, and everywhere. The Iowa tape, please stick on the Wisconsin versus Iowa tape and watch Mason Reiger in that. It's the funniest thing you'll see. He is just all over the shop, and sometimes it's working brilliantly, and sometimes he's just getting shoved the hell out of the way, and it's just hilarious. Yeah, he can be on his ass way more than you'd like to see. Only has really 1 year of top starter acumen. He was at Louisville before Wisconsin. He was at Louisville for quite a while. He's going to be 24 when the season starts, so a little bit older. Has had leg surgery, missed all of 2024 because of it, so that's obviously a concern. But he's still a +1 for me because, sweet Jesus, he's just like so fun to watch and relentless. If he can work on the nuance and technique of his game, I actually think you've got a really nice day 3 pickup here that could well be a Steeler. I know, we haven't got Tomlin anymore, but is that going to stop us from going to the Wisconsin well? Maybe not with this guy. Certainly as a 7th-round pick, I would absolutely take a chance on Mason Riger. I'm really high on him, and as I say, Tom was really high on him as well. Said really solid older prospect who would be a very good backup and could even, with experience, become a role player. Steelers love a Badger. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to see if Mason Riger is on the Steelers' sort of radar, particularly at that stage. But then, I had a look at all of these players, and I was thinking, who is going to be my sleeper? Maybe Riger could be my sleeper. I kind of had a thought about, maybe Dennis Sutton, as I said earlier. Did I feel like it was maybe a bit too high for the sleeper there, but wasn't entirely sure. And then there was a guy that, I had a sniff around like some of the better PFF grades that was going on here. And this guy stuck out, and I stuck the tape on for him. And I was blown away by this guy. So my sleeper is a guy called Cameron Robertson out of SMU.
Dive.
Thank you. 6'4", 260 pounds. He's a senior. He was formerly at North Texas back in 2022. I think he's probably about 22 years of age. I haven't got anything on him. He's got no Wikipedia page. He's got no NFL Draft Buzz page. None of that. He's the highest graded run edge guy in PFF for 2025. Has the highest run grade of any of the edge talents. And hell yeah, does that show up on tape. You absolutely love to see it. Superb run defender. Great eye for where the running back's going. Great motor to shut him down. Really nice shift of footwork. I really loved his footwork, particularly against TCU. I think it looked great. And this is the thing, he's at SMU, but TCU, really good stuff. And then Clemson, I thought his tape was really, really solid against them as well. Great athlete. And didn't go to the combine. Obviously, this is a guy who is like 500 odd on the mock draft database consensus board. I know, sorry, you've got the PFF one up there. I don't know where Cameron Robertson sits on that. But man alive, I don't know why this guy's not being talked about more. I thought he was absolutely excellent. 3.8% missed tackle rate. That is incredible.
What college did he go to? Because I can't even find him.
SMU.
I don't know if he's even on this PFF list, to be honest.
May not be. He had an undisclosed injury in 2025, which is a little bit curious. He missed some time because of that. He did come back towards the end of the season. He's, as I say, the run defense is great. There is a lack of consistent great pass rush. The sack numbers aren't terrible, but not particularly consistent in that way. I don't think he's the most powerful. I don't think he's the most explosive necessarily either. But his vision, his motor, after that initial jump off the line, his athleticism at times, the footwork, there's so much I loved about this guy. I would 100% take a day 3 flyer on him and develop him. Develop his pass rush and just add to his already great run game acumen. I honestly do not know where the buzz is for this guy. Where is it? Because I think he's absolutely superb.
Where did you say he was on mock draft database? Because I can't even.
So he is 518.
Yeah. Yes. Okay,
Yeah,
so we're talking like. So in fairness, on mock draft database, he's one slot above the last guy that's on the PFF board, but he's not.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And apparently, people are saying, I didn't get to watch the other SMU guy who a lot of people are raving as well, but he's not even on this list. But a lot of people were kind of raving about him. I can't remember his name, Isaiah something, I believe it was. But man, I wondered where my sleeper was coming in at the 11th hour. This guy has shown up, and holy hell, loved every second of watching his tape, man.
Cool.
And I really do hope he's the guy that is way off the consensus board that I am hoping.
Yeah,
I'm putting all my chips down for him being the day. He's my Hutmacher of this draft, I think, so far. Love him.
Cam Robinson, all right. Cameron Robinson out of SMU. We'll be seeing if he gets drafted.
Absolutely. Hopefully, I see his name be called on day 3.
Cool.
It's a great sleeper, Mark. Well done.
Thank you. Well, we'll see if it's a great sleeper.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Now, ready, Mark? I'm going to impress Kets. My sleeper is Gilbert Edmond out of South Carolina.
Okay, what you've done is you've scrolled to the bottom of the list and picked that guy. Don't try and impress me. Mark came with damn good reasons as to why he picked that guy.
Wait a minute. Right, Sai.
Demon Clowney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Demon Clowney.
Literally, as you started talking, I looked up, saw it was the same team in South Carolina. Demon Clowney.
What a name that is. Might have to watch him on Name Alone.
Can we get some Demon Clowney tape going, please? You know what? Screw it. I'll risk the copyright. Demon
Clowney.
Clowney. Highlights? Come on, there's got to be
Search for South Carolina edge play and see what it says.
There's got to be.
You don't want to mess with him. My
Demon
God.
Clowney tackle for loss. Here we go.
He's on Draft Buzz.
All right.
Cameron Robinson's not on Draft Buzz, and this guy is. What the hell?
Where is he? Show me Demon. All right, well,
Show me
Demon Clowney was one of the men there. One of the men in on that tackle against SC State was Demon Clowney. So I'm not sure which one.
Jeez, he's been at Charlotte, Louisville, Ole Miss. He's transferred all over the shop.
All right, Demon Clowney. Any relation
That's against Max Protect as well.
Cousin of Jadavian.
Oh, he really is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What? All right, fair enough.
Number 3.
Cool. All right. Have you got any more cats? Oh, was that it?
No, all good.
All right.
Yep. All out.
That's the class then. Well done, guys. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain broke then. As I was
Yeah, you did,
like
yeah.
an incredibly long pregnant pause. I stopped to think.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah,
so
is there anything
yeah,
else I want to
look at
say,
it.
or do we just want to end the show?
I think we need to
Yeah,
end. I
let's
think I
end
need
the
to
show. It's
get
3
over to bed.
All right, gents. Thanks for joining me on this Friday evening. Been a pleasure as always. Follow the show at UK Steelers Pod. Follow me at I Wrote This. Follow Gav. No, he's not here. Don't follow him. Leave him alone.
Follow Gav around London.
Follow Mark at Mesh NFL and follow Kets at Kets UK on Twitter. And we'll see you next week. What are we doing next week, Mark? You know.
I believe because it's free agency, there'll be a lot of talk about that, like the opening of free agency. So we're gonna try and look at the tight end group because I think that's a bit of a smaller group that won't take up too much time.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll see you
Enjoy that. I will be en France next week, so I will
enjoy le
Yeah.
français.
What are you doing there?
Merci beaucoup. Just a work thing.
Just a work thing. Now that's suspicious, and there's a lot going on in the world right now, and all of a sudden, Kets just needs to be in France.
The trenches are opening.
I'm not. I'm going to Lille, just so if anyone sees any news headlines, it's
All right.
that's where I am.
Gonna go see Jordan Humphrey.
I have no idea what's even in